Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now today, courtesy to Nitro Man, we're going to have some very exciting Professor X footage where we have a rank 4 Professor X juiced up on mutant power boosts. But before we get there, definitely check out Evizone. We are currently doing our Eternity of Pain community challenge in partnership with Evizone. And you have 3 categories you can enter with your Icarus solos, which is fastest unboosted solo, lowest PI solo, biggest single unboosted hit. Not required to solo, but we will not be counting Guillotine 2099 level 3s in there because we have way too many submissions of people trying to be smart, and that would be like a 10-way tie. So we're not doing that. We're going to just take the second biggest number there. On top of that, Quake and Ronan are banned for these challenges. Definitely check them out. Record your solos or attempts. Open an account with Evizone and submit them to this email. All the information you need to know is in the video description below. Right, now let's get to it. We have Professor X. This time around it is in Act 8 on Wombo Combo and right back at it. So every time opponents get knocked down, they're going to go debuff immune, but obviously that's not the biggest deal, especially if you do have that Horseman pre-fight helping you out. Now that was a fairly risky heavy there, to be honest, because the falter had already expired, but fair enough. And virtually with all of these Professor X fights, the common point is just getting to your special attack. So we will be kind of skimming through some of these videos, because as soon as you get your special 2 or 3 with Professor X and Power Boost, vast majority of the fights are just over. They quite literally are. And it's always fun and exciting to see those nukes. But again, we have about 78% of the fight or getting to that special attack and getting to 100 channeling charges, and then we have some good old-fashioned nukedom. Obviously here he is, for whatever reason, still charging. You don't need to do that, man. You're at 100 charges already. Anyway, so he goes up here, probably wants to get in his prowess from the get-go. He nearly pushed himself to 3 bars of power there, which isn't end of the world either. And obviously we can see how well mutant power boosts are doing the job there. So we're going to move on to the next fight and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to kind of fast forward a bit till he actually gets to the power that he needs. And I think now this is going to be a good moment to stop and appreciate a wee bit of... Oh, he actually built himself up to level 3, fair enough. Then again, why do you even bother baiting out that special attack? You know they're going to be dead. Why do you bother? I actually probably need to make a video about specifically a situation like that, because I do believe that a lot of people are creating way too many problems for themselves, trying to, you know, bait out the final special attacks when you don't need, and, you know, just trying to neatly finish up the fights, when quite often you kind of are much better off taking calculated risks in terms of your damage and aggressiveness, especially when it comes to battlegrounds. But here we go. One absolutely obliterated Storm Pyramid X. So we're going to go to this Spry and Ghast path. So I believe this one is from Act 6. 6.3... 1, 2, 3... Forgot which one. 6 point something. I've definitely made a showcase of this lane as well. But Spry and Ghast obviously are quite nasty combination, because if you do get that fatigue, I believe, on you, then you're going to be taking damage and quite a lot of it. And here again, the base point is you just start with a few parry heavies. One of the coolest things I think about Professor X is the fact that he can counter the miss and evade very, very easily with his vigilance, I believe it is. Is it vigilance? I believe it's vigilance. Whenever he gets 25 charges with that thingy. And it is definitely very convenient. He's one of the more reliable evade counters in the game. One of the kind of faster access. Obviously Mole Man, and there are a few other champions who just immediately have it from the get-go. But again, it's gonna try. Why do you bait it out? You know the fight's over. You know the fight's over, but you just have to bait out at level 2, no? And here we go for level 3. Obviously, that Spider-Man's gonna get it in the neck. And then we go for level 2, no problem, and that's it. And then there would be another level 3. Right, let's... Stealthy fight, we already saw it. But, you know, just for the sake of research, Oh, there's something seems to have happened with the power. But okay, fine. Just for the sake of research. Let's check out that drop here. And that definitely is one of the cooler things about Professor X, though. Oh, he didn't even go for the initial... Ah, well, he still got back too much power. And obviously, that is one dead Stealth Suit SpiderMan after that level 3. Let's go on to 722 Magneto boss with Special Connoisseur. I didn't even remember that we have a boss like that. That is one of the points that I'm making, I think, here about Act 7. I genuinely do not have a full memory of, you know, every boss of every map and stuff like that. Unlike Act 6, unlike even Act 5, I would say. A lot of things in Act 7 in my head are just kind of a bit of a fuzz. But here we are. So we have Professor X against Magneto. So this is a classic matchup, right? Maybe this is not the right Magneto, but still close enough. Close enough. And somehow, the helmet isn't metal. I mean, in reality, Magneto wins with a helmet on, right? I mean, if you're thinking about it properly. Professor X can't get in his head. And should be dead. Should be dead. Okay, so we have a Special Connoisseur lane, so that's why Magneto is still at 99% health. However, obviously, Special Connoisseur there is in a bit of work. And it's not going to be as easy this time around, but that level 1 already does quite a neat amount of damage. He did refresh his prowesses, which is fair enough. He just needs to quickly kind of build up to 100 charges and to a level 2, and then he's going to be good. Should be trying to utilize his falter a bit more in that situation there before, I'd say. That's fine, bait out at level 2. Nothing wrong with that. It's quite low on charges there, though. And here the Unstoppable from Horseman of Apocalypse works in. He really needs to quickly get in that parry. And he got it to level 3. Let's see if he's going to make it in now. He probably will. Let's say he probably will. He was cutting it a bit close, though. Did he get in the refresh? No, he didn't. So he's going to lose a bunch of prowesses. But he still maintains 7 of them, which is pretty much good enough. And now another level 1, and that fight is over. So that is a Special Connoisseur boss. 726 Grandmaster boss with Juice. I actually haven't done Grandmaster boss fight in a really, really long time. The main thing that I do remember about Grandmaster is that it was the one that I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed Grandmaster more than either of the Kangs, and I definitely enjoyed Grandmaster much more than the Grandmaster. So that one was my favorite, but I haven't had any reason to get back to it. Like with Grandmaster fight, we had to fight Grandmaster in last year's Summer of Pain. We had to fight Grandmaster in Karina Challenges Volume 2, but we have yet to go back to Grandmaster, and I can't wait. Look, what is wrong with that Grandmaster there? That she's what? Half invisible, but purple and pink. Something was a bit off there, definitely, with the coloring. I don't really remember every phase of Grandmaster either at the moment. I would definitely have to reread her abilities or watch my own guide on her if I wanted to fight Grandmaster right now. But those juiced Furies seem to probably gonna be helping. Okay, so he has 4 of those Furies. Wonderful. Haha! Falter does not save you here. So he does go for a special attack suite. He needs to punish that because he needs to work with that timer, otherwise he's kind of gonna be screwed a bit. And was it in time? Did it count? I don't think it counted there. I don't think it counted. Yeah, he's eating that level 2 in the face. He was a bit too late because he wasn't intercepting enough. But now at this point it's just silly. 80k mediums and stuff like that is not serious business. That's not fine. I think the coolest part about obviously Professor X against Grandmaster for many of you people is the fact that Professor X ignores inverted controls, I believe, doesn't he? Yes, he does. So a lot of people do absolutely love Professor X for that reason, and that reason alone already. So here he has 10 of his charges, 11 of his furies, I mean. And he's casually dropping 70k light crits, which is not too bad, and that level 2 is just going to be a bit filthy. That level 2 is just going to be a bit filthy. Man, Juiced Path was fun. I remember having a bit of fun with Corvus, just bypassing majority of the phases with Corvus as well. And here we go, 238k crit on level 1. Now we have Vigorous Assault and Spiked Armor. We're going to quickly fast forward slightly here against this gold pool, but you know, this is just going to be the same good old Professor X nuke right here. It's bullying. This is what, you know, I know about this, and I'm not ashamed to admit, but this is quite literal bullying of Marvel Console Champions. I have done this in Labyrinth. I have like 3 Labyrinth of Legends streams with Professor X, I think, where I get bored and I just go and nuke everybody in Labyrinth. I'm quite sure I have done like 3 of them. At least 2, definitely 2, because I did it with a 5-star and then I did it with a 6-star rank 3. Yeah. That's pretty much just bullying. We also have a champion bullying compilation here. So against the champion boss. Now, this time let's just see the ramp up, because obviously getting that ramp up against champion is kind of the harder bit there, I would say. So he has made the Professor X a Horseman of Apocalypse. And the initial bit obviously is just getting to nearly 3 bars of power, I would say, and obviously how 100 charges there. It's kind of sad that this champion fight is going away, truly. I don't think that after they had already nerfed it, I don't think they needed to change anything about it. I think the reason why champion was so difficult initially was just the fact that we didn't have many counters. Like, we truly didn't. Initially, I remember doing champion boss with like Magic and Quake and stuff like that. But now we have had, you know, all the long shots and Sorcerer Supremes and Clairs and Dooms and, you know, rest of the Mystic champions released that absolutely eat this fight up. I mean, at worst, you could have just made his Indestructibles persistent, I suppose, but that is it. I don't know how everybody feels about the change that they're doing to Act 6. Some are for, some are not so much so. But I do think that there was not much need of really nerfing the champion boss that badly. But then again, it's not like I really go back to this fight and do it weekly or something like that. I haven't done champion since Karina Challenges Volume 1. Kamal Khan. That is the last time I did the champion fight. And here I am not going to show the finish because he does get whacked against the face a bit. Against the wall in the face. And now we have 632 Nick Fury. And this Nick Fury boss, I do remember quite fondly because I did love this fight. It was always quite a long fight, which is always also a quite skilled fight in a sense where you could use a ton of different champions. And the key was basically just get that Nick Fury at level 2. You don't want him to throw the level 1. So that was always kind of like the mission statement there. And we can see that even though Nick Fury is debuff immune, White Magneto's pre-fight makes it so that he's not passive stun immune, which is kind of like, you know, a loophole there, some would say. In the good old days of MCOC, not many of you probably remember this, but in the good old days, passive stun used to bypass stun immunity as well. They did change that later on. They did go ahead and change that. Initially, if you had a passive stun, and there were less champions with passive stuns, admittedly, but that did indeed bypass the stun immunity as well, not just debuff immunity. Just saying. Is the rest of the fight just level 3s? Again, how is this not bullying? I do think that this is a bit kind of stupid. I don't want to be too mean. But Professor X's power boost is one of the stupidest things that exist in the game. It is kind of OP in a sense. Like, obviously you don't want to do it all the time because, you know, loyalty costs and you need to get access to those power boosts and all the stuff like that. But, you know, this is kind of like one of the most bonkers interactions in between champion with power boosts. And, well, just silliness. Virtually always is just kind of get to your level, whatever special you're at. And as soon as you do, the fights are kind of over. But we have 745 Killmonger. So I do recall this fight, and for most part, I said, just bring in Dr. Doom or anybody with, you know, power control and you're going to be fine. Because you do armor break on parries, and that's pretty much all you need. And other than that, he's going to be gaining a ton of power, but so long as you can manage the power, you're going to be fine in this fight. That was kind of like my generic advice. So let's see how it works out with Professor X, because Professor X does have a form of power control. Okay, he doesn't have power drain, burn, or lock, but he does have the special lock, and during the special lock, they can't gain power either. So, you know, you can kind of benefit from that quite a lot. So now he's here. Is he going to go for level? Yeah, he's going to go for level 3. Starts with the charging the heavy attack, so he gains the extra prowess. He had the 4 persistent charge, so he should be at like 5 prowesses. Now he's obviously going to be at 6 because he can't gain more than 4 after the first one, but that is it. The fight's over. But that is about it that I had showed to you guys. Again, don't forget to check out Evizone and the video description for the community challenges. They are very interesting, and I do encourage everybody to take part. It's tons of fun. But all that said, that will be it for today's video. I'm trying to get rid. Here we go. There we go. Finally I got rid of that text. But that's pretty much it. This is one of the most stupid combinations in my MCOC, but it's also kind of like stupid fun and stupid trolling. And I think, you know, it is manageable due to the fact that you can't do this all the time everywhere, because you do need to have access to those power boosts. Either way, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys later. So yeah. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next